One ruler ordered the execution of so many people that the global atmosphere actually changed, causing a measurable drop in carbon dioxide levels as 40 million bodies decomposed across abandoned farmlands. That's not a myth from ancient times, it's documented historical fact. Leave before number 1 and you'll miss the most insane entry on this list. Let's count down from number 10. Number 10, Leopold II of Belgium. This European monarch turned the Congo Free State into his personal torture chamber from 1885 to 1908, where an estimated 10 million Africans died under his rubber extraction regime. Workers who failed to meet quotas had their hands cut off, with baskets of severed hands delivered to officials as proof of punishment. He amassed a personal fortune worth over 1 billion in today's dollars while entire villages were burned and families mutilated. But this Belgian king's cruelty is just the beginning. Number 9, Empress Wu Zetian of China. The only woman to ever rule China in her own right, Wu Zetian had her own infant daughter murdered to frame a rival concubine in 654 AD. She ordered the hands and feet cut off her two main rivals, then had them thrown into wine vats to drown in alcohol. Her secret police network executed thousands on mere suspicion of disloyalty, filling mass graves across the empire. Yet her 30-year reign saw China flourish economically, proving ruthlessness and effectiveness aren't mutually exclusive. Number 8, Ivan the Terrible of Russia. Ivan earned his nickname by killing his own son in a fit of rage in 1581, striking him with a scepter during an argument. His Oprichnina death squads massacred between 30 and 60,000 people in Novgorod alone in 1570, drowning families in the frozen river and impaling thousands on stakes. He personally participated in torture sessions, showing up in the dungeons to watch his enemies suffer. His reign of terror transformed Russia into a centralized state, but at an unspeakable human cost. Number 7, Pol Pot of Cambodia. In less than 4 years, from 1975 to 1979, this dictator killed approximately 2 million Cambodians, a quarter of the entire population. His Khmer Rouge regime emptied cities at gunpoint, forcing millions into agricultural labor camps where people were executed for wearing glasses, a sign they might be educated. Children were trained to torture and kill their own parents as class enemies. The killing fields contained over 20,000 mass graves, with skulls still stacked in memorials today as a reminder of his genocidal madness. Number 6, Vlad the Impaler of Wallachia. The historical inspiration for Dracula impaled an estimated 40 to 100,000 people during his 6-year reign in the 1450s and 1460s. He arranged forests of impaled victims outside his capital, with bodies positioned at varying heights based on rank, and dined among the dying while dipping his bread in their blood. Turkish envoys who refused to remove their turbans had them nailed to their heads. His psychological warfare tactics were so effective that invading Ottoman armies literally turned back in horror at the sight of 20,000 impaled corpses rotting outside the city. Number 5, Joseph Stalin of the Soviet Union. Stalin's forced collectivization and political purges killed an estimated 20 million Soviet citizens between 1924 and 1953. The Holodomor famine in Ukraine alone killed 4 million people in 1932 to 1933, as Stalin deliberately seized grain and blocked food aid. His Great Purge executed over 750,000 people in just 2 years, with quota systems requiring each region to arrest and kill specific numbers of alleged enemies. He once said a single death is a tragedy but a million deaths is a statistic, and he proved it by making himself the deadliest ruler in Soviet history. Number 4, Adolf Hitler of Nazi Germany. Hitler's Holocaust systematically murdered 6 million Jews plus millions of Roma, disabled people, homosexuals, and political opponents between 1941 and 1945. His concentration camps operated as industrial death factories, with camps like Auschwitz killing up to 6,000 people per day in gas chambers. World War II, which he initiated, resulted in over 70 million total deaths worldwide. His 1,000-year Reich lasted only 12 years, but the scars of his genocidal ideology permanently altered human history and gave the world a new definition of evil. Number 3, Mao Zedong of China. Mao's great leap forward from 1958 to 1962 caused the largest famine in human history, killing an estimated 45 million people through starvation, overwork, and execution. Peasants were forced to meet impossible grain quotas while their own food was confiscated, leading to cannibalism in some provinces. His Cultural Revolution added another million deaths as students turned into Red Guards, torturing teachers and destroying ancient cultural sites. His total death toll of up to 70 million makes him arguably the deadliest ruler in all of human history, yet his portrait still hangs in Tiananmen Square today. Number 2, Attila the Hun. Leading the Hunnic Empire from 434 to 453 AD, Attila devastated the Roman Empire and was called the Scourge of God by terrified Europeans. His armies destroyed over 70 cities, slaughtering entire populations and leaving landscapes so barren that travelers said grass never grew again where his horse had trod. He demanded half the Roman Empire's annual revenue as tribute, and when denied, his forces killed hundreds of thousands in brutal raids. At his wedding feast in 453, he drank himself to death from a burst blood vessel, dying in a pool of his own blood, a fitting end for a man who spilled so much of it. And finally, number 1, Genghis Khan. The fact from our intro? Genghis Khan killed so many people, an estimated 40 million, or 11% of the entire world's population, that vast farmlands returned to forest, absorbing enough carbon dioxide to actually cool the planet in the 1200s. His Mongol army showed no mercy, offering cities a choice: surrender and be enslaved, or resist and every living thing would be slaughtered, including dogs and cats. After conquering the Crimean Empire, he diverted an entire river to erase the capital city from existence. His biological legacy is equally staggering. Genetic studies show 16 million men alive today are direct descendants of Khan, meaning he literally reshaped humanity through conquest. His empire became the largest contiguous land empire in history, but it was built on a mountain of 40 million corpses. These 10 rulers prove that absolute power doesn't just corrupt, it can transform humans into monsters who treat lives as statistics. Drop a comment below telling us which entry shocked you most, or if we missed a ruthless ruler who deserves to be on this list. Smash that like button and subscribe for a brand new top 10 every single day.